Mike Nellis, and I'm a spiritual director at St. James. Do not put the Lord thy God to the test. Luke chapter 4, verse 12. This is Jesus' response to the devil's three temptations of Christ. First, the devil starved Jesus for 40 days and told him to prove that he was God by changing stones into bread. Second, the devil made Jesus stand at the top of the temple and said to him, "If you're the Son of God, throw yourself down, and the angels will surely rescue you." And third, the devil placed Jesus in a very high place so he could see all the great kingdoms of the world. "All these I will give to you if you will prostrate yourself and worship me," said the devil. Of course, Jesus responded with, "Do not put the Lord thy God to the test." Recently, I had an encounter with a friend who insisted upon hugging me at our greeting. He explained that if I had sufficient faith, I should not fear the embrace and would come to no harm. Reluctantly, I hugged him, but it has bugged me ever since. And I'll tell you why with a little story. Once upon a time, there was a very upright and righteous man. We'll call him Bob. Now, Bob lived in a country far, far away, and it seems that it began to rain in his hometown and did not stop for a week. Finally, after 2 weeks straight of rain, many villagers began to get restless. They packed up their things and they left for higher ground. Bob's neighbors offered to let him come with them in their car, but he refused, saying that he would rely on God. After 1 month straight of rain, the water was up to almost the roof line, and Bob had to sit on the roof to stay out of the water. Rescuers came by in boats to evacuate him, but Bob just knew God would rescue him, and he didn't want to be disloyal to God. Finally, there was hardly enough room on the roof to sit, and along came a helicopter to take him to safety. Again, Bob refused, and finally later that day, the inevitable occurred. Yes, Bob drowned. Upon his arrival at the pearly gates, Bob was getting his paperwork straight with St. Peter, who asked him how his transition to heaven had been. Bob said it was pretty rough, and that he had been stranded on top of his roof. Then Bob confessed that he was rather disappointed that God hadn't rescued him. Bob confessed to feeling abandoned. St. Peter was aghast at this, and when he calmed down, he asked Bob who he thought had sent the neighbors in the car, or the aquatic rescue team in the boat, or the aerial rescue team in the helicopter. So in conclusion, do not put the Lord to the test. Be open to God's presence in our everyday lives, and look out for each other, because that's how God often works. In short, trust in God, but don't be stupid. Amen.